Hello, this is TinBoy752, aka the player who wasted his luck on Party Lanju in Love Live All-Stars, and I will be doing my card breakdown featuring a great day for cat set from the story event A World of Relaxation. The Japanese title is called Yokoso Iyashi no Kane, or Welcome to a Soothing Space. The scouting banner is available until February 27 afternoon, coincidentally, Nijigasaki 4th Life LLL Day 2. I will start off with basic info, my thoughts on the cards, and then the verdict. I is first on the list, and because of new management, she gets another new UR in a short period of time. As a natural guard card, her base limit stats will start off at 5,451 base appeal, 8,276 base stamina, and 5,096 base technique with 15.20% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 9,760 base appeal, 14,810 base stamina, 9,087 base technique with 27.26% critical rate. Ice skill is healing, restoring stamina by 20 to 32% of her stamina at 33% chance. Her passive ability is Stamina Plus, affecting natural cards by increasing base stamina by 45.2%, and her active ability is Voltage Gain, gaining voltage by 37% of her stamina on appeal chance success at 45% chance. I think MyNet finally got a hang of building new skill sets, unlike last month which had been copies of Resplendent New Year and Pure White sets for Bright and Cheery New Year and Tiger Unit sets. This eye is actually a unique voltage gainer. Stats-wise, she will not be a desirable score, but outside of stamina stacking, Eye's active ability does not utilize appeal or technique stats as voltage or skill type cards usually go for. Instead, it is actually scalable by stamina, her strongest stat. A good precision to score where healers only do as such. Although the condition to trigger this active ability is exceeding on appeal chance with 45%, it is helpful enough for Ai to be a competitive healer. She may be better than Halloween dress-up Rico or Summer on Stage Nozomi in terms of scoring. Snow Maiden Ellie, who is a party card, is still top-notch in healing and scoring despite being a skill type card. So Ai is getting a hang of healing and sub-scoring potential. She is beneficial in natural songs that have many appeal chances, or Love You My Friends challenge difficulty. But I can assume some of you have already got other natural guard cards before her. This is what she looks like in costume preview. Now I did check a little bit on the costume, and apparently she does have the denim top, puffy sweater top, alongside with the vermilion brown color palette. I know vermilion is the color, but oh well. She does have a thick and curvy tail similar to her exciting animal costume, and she does have short twin tails behind her cat ears. And without the costume preview, if you were to use her on a live show, she would have light but firm boots. Overall, I think that matches mostly on her monochromatic side of her hair, but oh well. I do like this costume. Pretty cute. It's not like we got that as much dynamic as the tiger before from last year, but at least I like the simpler design. Daya is taking another costume that is outside of her eloquent motives. As a Smile skill card, her base stats will start off at 7,326 base appeal, 3,379 base stamina, and 8,078 base technique with 39.23% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 13,126 base appeal, 6,058 base stamina, and 14,472 base technique with 58.41% critical rate. Daya's skill is Critical Rate Buffer, increasing critical rate by 13 to 15%, affecting her strategy for 5 notes at 33% chance. Her passive ability is Appeal Plus, affecting Aqua cards by increasing base appeal by 4 to 5.2%, and her active ability is Critical Power Buffer, increasing voltage gain by critical notes by 5%, affecting her strategy during appeal chances. There were barely a few Smile skill cards that can pounce as hard as the Shiny Whisker Daya. Her stats are average for a skill type sustainer. She is useful for improving critical meta cards. While she can help out other critical meta cards, her passive tells a different story. With her passive restricted to Aqua, you might need to find Aqua card that can take critical power seriously. I can find Around the World Yoshiko and Rain and Boss Blossom Ruby as one of the examples to team up. Remember, same strategy has no school, attribute, or type restrictions, only as long as they're in the same strategy as Daya. There are 71 Aqua UR cards that Daya can team up as of writing. Without any off-attribute debuffs, Daya can be a supporting critical metaphor that hits hold well. This is what she looks like in costume preview. Now, I do think this costume is pretty good for, at least on the front side, so overly thick sweater top. It already reaches up to her palm. Orange black palette is used for this costume, and a she does have quite a great contrast for her skirt part, but then when we look at the back, she does have an unusual color palette from all the way from the white, brown, black, and white. And is it really supposed to do that? Kinda sticks out. The tail does stick out a little bit, but oh well, I think it's kinda normal. And lastly, she does have the wavy hair bun slash wavy twin tail, which is not the first time that Daya opts for twin tail options since the youthful carnival costume. And also, yes, even on the backside, she does use different colors from each side. I have no doubt that even she has low shoes, at least she can fit well for the 3 here. The scouting answer for this banner is MyNet Knight Ruby. Being an active skill card, her base stats will start off at 3,514 base appeal, 3,389 base stamina, 5,208 base technique with 30.62% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 5,974 base appeal, 5,767 base stamina, and 8,857 base technique with 41.57% critical rate. Ruby's skill is shielding, gaining shield by 15 to 27% of her technique. Her passive ability is technique plus affecting herself by increasing base technique by 5 to 7%. Her active ability is voltage gain, gaining voltage by 20% of her technique on strategy switch at 15% chance. Where Kitten I excels in healing and scoring on AC success in the UR lineup, Ruby takes the decent upper hand for the SR lineup with a swap of shielding instead of healing. She has technique passive on herself, but her voltage gain only works on strategy switch, the standard 15% rate for an SR lineup. But if you need a decent shielder that can clear critical appeal chances, this Ruby is good to go. I would consider a costume collection since her shielding potential is average for a super rare card. Nozomi finally gets an event UR after 53 events. The world record for not having an event UR, thus having to use her Gemini Starbright costume for my B-roll. As a pure skill card, her base stats will start off at 5,266 base appeal, 4,947 base stamina, and 5,745 base technique with 32.23% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 9,424 base appeal, 8,853 base stamina, 10,281 base technique with 45.84% critical rate. Nozomi's skill is critical rate buffer, increasing critical rate by 12.4 to 14.4%, affecting pure cards for 5 nodes at 33% chance. Her passive ability is appeal plus, affecting pure cards by increasing base appeal by 3 to 4.2%. Her active ability is technique-based healing, restoring stamina by 20% of her technique on critical rate and up to 5 times per live show at 10% chance. The stat difference is in intervals, so this is mildly interesting for an event UR. While being a critical scorer, the rate is low as per usual in the event UR. Nozomi is the first event UR with a critical rate buffer, and now her second event UR makes her better. Does this redeem from her first event UR skill from a long time ago? Yes, because to make it more effective, she finally cuts down her skill range to 5 nodes. A big step up to increase by nearly a 10. Instead of jumbling her skill set, she gets an attribute focus passive. Who cares, right? Now, the idea to limit healing on critical at 10% chance and capping its usage seems a bit underwhelming. Just like her Gemini Starbright card, this is a costume collection card. This is what she looks like in costume preview. Now, for Nozomi this time, she does have her hair down. She does. Now, unlike the other two that we've seen before, this time she opted for very small, cute gray cat ears alongside on braided sides. Now, the color palette that she's using this time is a cute peach slash pink slash gray palette. You can see that there are various hues of this color, as well as her contrast color, which is the gray. And she does have a gray tail. The finishing decoration is the pink bow. It's very cute. Alongside her favorite leggings, and she does have an open sweater, unlike the other two. Now, similar to Daya and I, all of the all the sleeves reach up to her palms. So, um, for an event UR that looks so good, even though the stats are almost the same as the first event, I guess this is quite a consolation prize. But at least it's good for more than good for cosmetics more than for stats. The first event SR is Rainbow Walled Karin. Being a natural guard card, her base stats will start off at 2,985 base appeal, 4,226 base stamina, and 3,091 base technique with 9.27% critical rate. Her fifth limit stats will end up at 5,086 base appeal, 7,191 base stamina, and 5,263 base technique with 15.78% critical rate. Karin's skill is Damage Reducer, reducing stamina damage by 23 to 35% for 3 nodes. Her passive ability is Stamina Plus, affecting herself by increasing base stamina by 5 to 7%. Her active ability is Shielding, gaining shield by 13.2% of her stamina when taking damage at stamina below 80% and only triggers once per live show. I bet someone at MyNet took notes from Waterblue Rico's skill set and made Rainbow Waltz Karin more effective than Rainbow Waltz Emma from last event, who has the same skill set. The differences comes from all fronts with a different target for passive, different conditions for shielding. Rainbow Waltz Karin is more or less the event SR alternative to Waterblue Rico. The second event SR is Boku Ima Kotori. Being a full voltage card, her base limit stats will start off at 4,331 base appeal, 2,470 base stamina, and 3,500 base technique with 10.5 critical rate. Her fifth limit stats will end up at 7,367 base appeal, 4,209 base stamina, and 5,963 base technique with 17.88% critical rate. Kotori's skill and active ability is Peel Buffer. As skill, she increases effective appeal by 2 to 3.2%, affecting all cards for 5 nodes. As active ability, she increases effective appeal by 4%, affecting all cards for 5 nodes on appeal chance success. Her passive ability is Appeal Plus, affecting herself by increasing base appeal by 5 to 7%. Kotori supports everyone, and she will do it, with the benefit of herself. Irony? I wish I could think of a short description to explain about this SR, but all she can do is buff a field for all, moreover to herself, and she is a standard voltage score with stat distribution in increments. Costume collection. I think MyNet Games made unique URs, and those are coming from I and Daya. Although someone needs to note that Nozomi has 2 event URs that relies on buffing critical rate. IOGs, you might want to save up your wallet and hope to win the 0.5 rate against Daya. Otherwise, the banner is mostly cosmetic. You get them wearing Cat's costume and hanging around cats. Nonetheless, Nozomi is back in the event rotation after 2 years and a quarter into the game's development. I makes a competent natural healer with a subtle hit of voltage gaining, but you may have other natural cards to consider like Halloween Dress Up Rico or Summer on Stage Nozomi. Daya is pretty strong for a critical sustainer, but her passive does recommend you to build up an Aqua strategy for her, a fair compromise unless you have many Aqua cards maxed out. Nozomi comes back with the same critical rate buffer but managed to get stock healing active ability, which is below average for those with healing active ability. Ruby makes a good technique shielder and fully utilizes her technique stat. Rainbow Waltz Karin is more powerful than Rainbow Waltz Emma with a short range but most effective damage reducer. Lastly, Kotori is your typical appear buffer for all. The next festival banner will feature Muse and Nijigasaki. SRs include Aoi Kanaria Shiriko and My Might the Night SR. We'll see the next banner during the Nijigasaki 4th Live LLL weekend. That's all for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell if you want more sheesh videos. I stream 3 to 4 times a week on YouTube or Twitch at 21PhD. My socials are in the video description below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. See you soon.